Oh, yeah, wrong.
You don't wear your glasses usually?
I have the wrong glasses. So
Oh,
these
okay.
are the ones. Sorry, folks. Well, welcome back after our summer recess to the Dandelion Reflections. Hello, Caroline.
Hi, Christopher. Welcome back. And I missed you, and I missed our audience, the Dandelions.
Yes, thank you. I missed you too, and our talks and um, our audience. I hope everyone out there you had a wonderful summer so far, wherever you are in the world. If you're on the southern hemisphere, of course, you may not have had a summer.
Yeah.
But, well, here we are again with episode 22.
Yes.
And
23, I
we,
believe, right? The last one
are
was 22, did you
you
say?
sure?
I think you said the last one was 22. We'll double
Okay.
check. I think
Well,
today was 23.
22 or 23, let's see. However, it's the next one after the interview with Henning and the next one
Correct.
after our summer recess. Whatever it is, numbers are just that, right?
Yeah, we're
And
not back from the summer, right? It's okay.
not really.
Mm.
So, and well, we came up with an idea of a topic and something that many of you may have experienced, and that's this nagging feeling, this in the stomach when you think that someone has not really appreciated you, that someone has not really seen the good thing that you wanted to accomplish and turn it into a bad thing. Um, and well, we came up with a word about it. So this feeling of, Caroline,
Humiliation.
humiliation, and that's really. So how does that feel for you? That feeling,
Mhm.
if you have a
Right.
an experience that you want to share, feel free to share that with us.
Mm.
Where you felt humiliated and where you have this wanting to pay back, or at
Mhm.
least the feeling that, oh, this was not fair.
Yes, I would love to hear more from you also as I construct my response because I sometimes struggle to distinguish humiliation from shame. I think they're related, but
Oh,
um, I think there's something very interactional, interpersonal within humiliation. It takes someone to humiliate someone else, as opposed to shame. We can do something that we're ashamed of, you know what I mean, without someone else being involved.
mhm.
So, but then from humiliation can come shame too. So, in a way, there's an overlap. But I think there's this, I think with the humiliation, there's usually a power dynamic component.
Yes.
And, you know, like we can see in most extreme cases, torture, right? There's
Oh, yeah.
a tormentor who will denigrate, trying to diminish, extinguish a person, but keeping them alive just enough that they suffer so that
Hmm.
the humiliator benefits somehow in their ego from that. And it's very vicious and cruel, right? So with the humiliation, there's usually some cruelty involved. So that's kind of my own deconstruction
Hmm.
as a psychiatrist, um, working with survivors of trauma. And I realize that it's a very also common experience to feel ashamed or humiliated.
Hmm.
And I would love to hear from you. What is the context behind you wanting to propose that? Because I think it's so timely, actually, with going back to school time of year. Kids experience bullying, as you know, and that is another form of humiliation.
Hmm.
But then the humiliation is also sometimes an identity, and it can interfere with recovery and empowerment. So we're hoping to talk about that as well today. But yeah, first of all, the experience of humiliation, that was a long answer to your question, but someone basically making a comment that attacks my whole being could
Mm.
feel humiliating in the moment. And it's so overwhelming that often we don't really pinpoint that as humiliation. We just feel bad about who we are in the moment that it happens, and we don't quite know
Right.
why. It's an attack. It's an attack on someone's spirit. And yeah, there's maybe a desire to hide from the world, or to just look down, or these could be some manifestations from that. Yeah.
I see. I love that you made two parts out of it, the shame and the humiliation. And so there's the intention part of it that makes the difference, I guess.
Yes.
And the our own feelings about whatever is said, uh, of course, or maybe not so, of course, because we often forget that. Of course, we need to have this open flank, this sore foot, or sore toe, as the Swedish say it. Uh, if someone steps on it, and if you don't have a sore toe, it doesn't hurt as much as if you have an open wound there from earlier, maybe from your past experiences, past yeah, upbringing, relationships, where you have this trigger point that really hurts you because
Hmm.
someone else has done the same thing, said similar things, and so
Yes.
you really feel the pain even stronger on that sore toe.
What a great image.
Um,
Yes.
yeah. So let me think. How and let me just remind our audience that none of this is scripted. We just uh, fly.
Yeah.
We just jump off the the cliff and see where we land.
Yes.
Um, well, let's see. So so this intention, shame and humiliation. Um, Shame is something that is born out of ourselves, I would now um, want to say, and humiliation is born out of someone else, but lands in on our sore toe. Yes.
Yeah.
Uh, of course, there's this difference. Often, this when it hurts most is when someone that is close to us is doing it, right? Relationships,
Oh, yeah.
uh, um, close relationships, family, or even romantic relationships, uh, or maybe let's say earlier romantic relationships, not so romantic any longer if someone is
Mm-hmm.
feeling the need to humiliate you. But
Mm-hmm.
there's this sore
Yeah.
toe that is there, and every time this happens, uh, it is a reminder that we have this wound there in our souls, in our where we feel we have where these bad words can enter because there are only words.
Right.
How come they have so much power?
Yes. Yes. This is really emphasizing the importance of connecting with our self-worth, right? And healing it
Right.
so we don't feel attained or attacked or wounded by those words or actions.
Hmm.
you were talking about humiliation in the context of intimate relationships. And I think a great example of that would be betrayal.
Oh, yes.
So the person who's betrayed might often feel like humiliated in front of society. What is the world going to think? Because there's often a judgment, right, associated with infidelity.
Hmm.
Not necessarily more towards the one who's unfaithful, but sometimes even more towards the victim, So depending on certain situations, or the victim internalizes that and
Hmm.
as if they had done something wrong. But once the person who's been betrayed or cheated on realizes, well, I don't have a reason to be jealous or humiliated because I know where I stand, I know my worth. That's the other person's problem if they don't see that. Then it's really empowering, and then we shift completely the narrative. But it takes so much to get to that point, and yes, there's still some hurt feelings or grieving associated with that, but it might not, maybe the person doesn't have the humiliation component on top of that. It's more the grief. The
Hmm.
humiliation is like a second arrow. There's already a painful situation, but when we feel humiliated, we kind of make it worse. So I think, yeah, when you were asking an example, that could be one of them. And I've heard, like, just like you say, words, it's just a word, the word cuckold. I remember as a kid witnessing someone telling me that someone had called them, an anonymous caller, saying cuckold, telling that to
Hmm.
the person who answered because they were actually cheated on by their partner. And that was very
Oh.
disturbing to me to hear that story, because I'm
Hmm.
thinking, why would someone do that to a person who's already going through something painful and
Yes.
adding that piece? Why going out of their way to call that person
Uh-huh.
and reminding them of the pain? And yeah. So, but then if the person had been at a different stage in their recovery around that, and just taking what belongs to them, and not what belongs to the one who cheated on them, it might not have been as painful to receive that phone call. They might have just brushed it off,
Right.
and looked at it with some distance, some emotional
Mm.
distance.
You mentioned this, what should others think part of this
Yeah.
pain.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I have a really recent example in mind, Christopher.
Oh,
I
yeah.
told you earlier I'm training for a trail running trip, right?
Right.
That involves, muscular training, which I've never really done in my life, and running regularly every 2 days. And then one week I fell twice. And the second time I fell, my first thought, even though I was afraid I would injure myself really bad because I kind of landed on my cheek,
Mm.
was almost, well, not my first thought, but the third thought after thinking, like, is someone is going to see me and come help me? Or am I going to be run over by a car because I was in the street? My third thought was, oh my gosh, did I look, did I embarrass myself? Did someone see me fall so ungracefully or ungraciously? And, I was feeling a little bit like pre-humiliation kind of
Hmm.
experience.
Right.
And why is that? It's my ego. I'm thinking that I'm this invincible, super fit person who's never gonna fall and who never gets injured. Come on. It's a story I tell about myself. And it's like, it was a good
Yes.
lesson for me. It was a good lesson. Everyone can fall, everyone can bite the dust, everyone can trip over something, or yeah.
I love it that you actually uh, took the time to reflect over uh,
Yeah.
this feeling and what the worth of it for yourself, and that you yeah, checked and well,
Mhm.
what am I doing here anyway? Why am I even thinking of if anyone could have seen me and laughed or had a ball or
Yeah. I think there's a young child in me that just
right.
got activated, and then I was able to comfort that child. But I think, yeah,
Mm,
it runs deep. When you said it's like the toe is already sore
right.
when we were stepped on, it hurts. But yeah, I was able to catch. catch that and then not let that drag me down nor give up.
So I you may remember that I love this picture of the cloud uh, passing by.
Yes. Yes.
And so this you falling, you tripping while running, and then this immediate thought of, oh my God, did anyone see me? And is this embarrassing? That's this cloud, right? And
Right.
you took it to yourself into your circle of responsibility, and okay, I want to take care of this cloud now. And And then, but you let it go right afterwards because you were became aware of what's happening, right? And
Yes.
I think that's a great step and a great way to deal with it. Okay, you become aware. Oh, what am I doing here?
Hmm.
Besides of laying on the ground and feeling the pain, of course, but you pull from the outside, you pull something into your circle of responsibility, and I want to take care of this right now. And no, what am I doing? It's not my thing to take care of right now because I have to take care of my body, my wounds maybe, or my sore knee or whatever.
Yeah.
And ah, away with this. And that was
Right.
wonderful. So if we take this picture of anything happening to anyone, may it be a fall in public or may it be someone saying something very stupid, maybe even that in public and
Yeah.
humiliating us.
Hmm.
So we suddenly have this audience. Maybe it's
Hmm.
just ourselves who is the audience
Yeah.
and
Right.
judging about ourselves. Others, we make up this story that others judge us or the one that the person is that is saying this or humiliating us. Or
Yes.
wait, let's take a step back.
Hmm.
When does the humiliation start?
Wow. Yeah, when and where, right? Because we might perceive the people who are witnesses as complicit or as people who might judge us, but maybe we
Hmm.
are the judges of ourselves or internalizing that. But when does it start? Does it start in the moment or afterwards when we start rehashing the episode, the scene?
Right. So does it start in the moment where this person is saying this stupid
Mm-hmm.
sentence, word, or does it start when we
Mm-hmm.
connect it as being hurtful, humiliating, or is it when we think, oh, what will the others say around me
Right.
about that?
That could be, I think, at various stages because sometimes maybe there's a lack of awareness of the implications of something at first. And maybe a person is in a freeze response, right? Like numb or
Mm,
dissociated momentarily. But then the humiliation feeling might kick in once the person is back in their body, so to speak, and reappraising the situation or receiving comments or seeing the repercussions
mm.
of something they've done or that was done to them. So yeah, I think it can be. I think it could be insidious. It's not necessarily like lightning, um, but sometimes it could be. Yeah, as immediate.
Yeah. So
And
I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Go ahead. So there's this component in the whole play of humiliation
Hmm.
that is elementary, and that is ourselves.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. What you're saying, basically, Christopher, is that we're in charge more than we think.
Yeah, let's play with that thought.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, Yeah, I think we have more power than we think, because when we just replay everything in our minds and we feel also paralyzed by the feelings of rejection, for instance, like you
Hmm.
ask me a question, it's a offering something to someone and not being acknowledged for that, or not, or just being plain rejected, and experiencing contempt for other people. There's something humiliating to that
Right.
aspect. So then we play and ask, what have I done wrong? How could I have done things differently? And why did the person do that? And then we kind of
Hmm.
become obsessed and consumed by that. But what happens is that those who do that intentionally, because you mentioned the intention, and that's important, those who are cruel in an intentional way,
Right.
they move on to the next victim. They don't even think about necessarily about us anymore, but we just continue to have let them live rent free in our head. So that's where
Right.
our power is. We can
Exactly.
evict them,
We
maybe
can.
yeah, we can. Maybe we need
Hmm.
a ritual, writing it down on a piece of paper, put that in an envelope, and say goodbye. I'm
Right.
making room for myself now. I deserve better than this treatment.
I know my worth.
I know my worth. Yes.
The other person maybe doesn't.
No. Mm-mm.
I do have, oh, I don't, I do have something that I started to use in the past few weeks. Of course, I don't have an appropriate piece of paper. I only have these pieces of paper that I already have written on. And this is actually something from my father's side, who has lived in a pile of papers and notes where he put down all his thoughts and ideas. And well, however, here it is. So what I am training myself doing in the past 2, 3 months, I have this. I make a circle on a piece of paper, either in my head or in reality, like
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Okay.
this.
Yes. Love
Right,
it.
just a piece of paper and a circle.
Mm-hmm.
So in the middle, that's our space of responsibility,
Yeah.
right? That's my responsibility. Everything else is so not my
Mm-hmm.
responsibility.
Okay.
Pretty easy, right? So if someone says something stupid about you and you
Mm-hmm.
listen to it and you start reacting and you start feeling this hurt and this anger in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
How could he say, how could she say anything like that right now?
Mm-hmm.
And then I remind myself, okay, so is that in my responsibility? What this person has said? What is it saying something about me or about them?
It says about them, right? So
Right.
about them. I love that. Yes.
And as if I want to, that's why I earlier said if I want to pull that cloud into my circle of responsibility, then
Mm-hmm.
it's my responsibility. But do I want to take this responsibility? Is that really what I want to use
Mm-hmm.
my energy on?
Right.
Is it worth it? Of course, it could be worth it, and depending on the setting. Of course, you could uh, uh, say something back to this person and uh, defend yourself or
Mm-hmm.
whatever you feel is appropriate at that time. It could be worth it, yes. Or you can just, let the cloud go
Mm-hmm.
by and don't care about
Yeah.
it.
You said something important here. You brought a nuance about should we say something back? So is it best to walk away or respond, right? And I
Right.
think it's situation dependent, right? But I think
Hmm.
it's interesting because there are times when it's going to be energizing and empowering when the person is ready to maybe rectify a situation or reestablish some power balance. towards equity. Sometimes it's necessary to speak up.
Or just
So
draw a line of boundary. I will not tolerate this.
exactly,
Mm.
exactly, setting a boundary. Yes, that ends the humiliation attempt. you know,
Yeah.
right there. It's just yeah, mission aborted. Something like
And that in that moment, it is very important, right? It is your
mhm.
responsibility to make this boundary,
Right.
to set this boundary, or to remind this person of this boundary.
Yeah.
They have done that before, maybe,
Yeah.
and it's time to, let them feel that this
Hmm.
is as long as you are allowed to go.
Exactly. Yes.
And that, of course, is very important to do if you want to keep
Hmm.
your own feeling of worth, not only for yourself, but also make that clear for others and
Yeah.
live the empowerment of yourself.
Yes.
Not only feel the inside, but just be the
Yes.
diva you deserve to be, right?
That's beautiful. I love it. Yes. I can see that being grounded can lead to that and reminding oneself of our truth. I have worth,
Mm.
I am worthy. That makes it easier to do that, to implement the boundary setting. Yes.
And then the humiliation is maybe not a humiliation anymore.
Hmm. Maybe it's an opportunity to speak a truth.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Maybe it's an invitation to speak a truth
Yes.
or reconnect with our true.
That's a beautiful thing. Thank you for that. Wow. And it's not a humiliation, it's an invitation
Yeah.
to relearn
Hmm. Yeah.
for this person and anyone else around.
The reframing can be important, can be useful. Yeah. From humiliation to invitation. Yeah.
From humiliation to invitation.
Mm.
So what do we make out of that now for our
Yeah.
future?
Well, I'm already feeling more knowledgeable and more empowered just talking to you this morning, Christopher, about this. Um, I feel like what could help maybe the dandelions in us and in others is to, first of all, have self compassion, right? When this happened, when we feel like we've been stepped on or
Mm.
diminished or humiliated or shamed, mansplained. That's another expression, right?
Oh yeah.
Mansplaining.
Hmm.
It's really about sending warmth and love and self compassion to ourselves. And instead of letting the humiliator or abuser or bully live rent free in our head, really about thinking about other victims like us and send them compassion too. Maybe they're not at
Yeah.
that stage
Hmm.
and they're more vulnerable. So we can kind of through our heart and soul send them that. And in doing so, I think we indirectly send compassion to those people doing this because
Mm.
it comes from a place of hurt usually. There's someone in them that's been wounded and that led to this ego impersonation that is a black hole and that just seeks to, you know, have a power dynamic. So if we can get to that wounded part, but it's a big ask. I'm not asking people to do that. And it's like asking everyone to forgive everyone for what they've done. Sometimes it's difficult, but it's really like indirectly sending just compassion and hopefully it will make its way to the wounded because ultimately what we want is this collective healing so that these things don't need to happen anymore because
That's
hurt people. Yeah.
hurt people, hurt people. I love that. And it is so true. I truly believe that
Yeah. Right.
from my own experiences. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and what you just described, this turning towards the the perpetrator, the person that says something humiliating to us, or let's not use the word humiliating, that says this to us without a valuing whatever they say.
Mhm.
If we turn towards them, our compassion towards them, we take ourselves out of the equation, right? It's
Yes.
so suddenly it's not about us anymore. Suddenly we don't need to feel hurt anymore. Suddenly our ego is not there anymore. That can
Mhm.
be hurt, that can make up this story about why and how and what should others think about this. But
Mhm.
we think of this person and what could have happened to him or her
Mhm.
or they, what could have
Yeah.
happened to them, to that makes them act in this way.
Right.
And
Very nice. Yeah.
wow, yeah, come on.
No, no, that you're right. I'm just acquiescing. Yes. Shifting the focus. It tells us more about the person doing this than the person who's
Yes,
on the receiving end. Yeah,
right.
sure.
So maybe they do need our help. Maybe they do want
Hmm.
would we can offer them our reflections, our feedback. Maybe they
Yeah,
were unaware of that, what they're doing.
yeah. Some people do have that ability to change and receive feedback and take responsibility, right? Take ownership for the actions and change that behavior. Some don't, unfortunately, but I think it's worth keeping an eye out for those who might be open
Hmm.
to change. And yeah, we can cultivate that understanding or that, yeah, understanding of the behavior. Yes. And that's an invitation back for them to revisit what they are doing and adjust.
And
Yes.
maybe a good friendship can come out of this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you have examples?
No.
No. Yeah.
But I just, well, I do have an example from my professional work when, 1,000 years ago, when I was working at the bank and a customer came in and had complaints and was upset,
Mm-hmm.
and rightfully so. And
Mm-hmm.
the way we make this customer feel at that moment, that can turn this customer to a customer that will never return, or that will, in fact, be an even better customer in the future because they see, well, I have been taken care of in a very good way. I've been listened to. And
Mm-hmm.
so if if we say, okay, this person that is hurtful, hurting our others, has been hurt themselves
Right.
in the past, and if we offer them our help and compassion and
Mm-hmm.
listening to whatever has happened in their life
Mm-hmm.
before, and suddenly maybe they don't have to have this urge to hurt others any longer because that's something that they maybe have experienced all their upbringing, all their
Mm-hmm.
young age lives, and it's they have developed, I don't know, a hard, um how do you say, the hard and tagged outside.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
not
like defenses or
hmm? Once again,
defenses or shield or.
yes, right. And that maybe they're actually longing to find someone that
Mm-hmm.
listens to them
Yeah.
Of course, that's a very that's
Right.
asked that's asking a lot, of course, to
Yeah.
shift this from feeling hurt towards being compassionate. Uh, that maybe is a long work to do, but it can be very interesting and important for both.
Hmm. Yes. That completely shifts, yeah, the dynamic and the narrative. And it's really about leaving the ego at the door when we want to sit down and decode the person's behavior and not take it personally. I
Yes,
think that's the key. And in order
what
to
they
do,
do. I'm sorry. Yes, in
yeah,
order to do.
yeah, we need to de-self a little bit. We need to make sure we take care of our own needs so we're not too vulnerable and easily attacked in our ego, you know.
Hmm.
So we can really see their behaviors and care about that rather than worry about how it affects us and taking that personally.
Hmm. I have another workplace for myself right now where I train myself in um, manifesting that no one can
Mhm.
say anything that will hurt me.
Mm.
It doesn't work every day,
Mm.
but it's a work in progress,
Yeah.
and I manifest that, and even when I'm talking to other people and
Mhm.
they're apologizing, I don't know, I didn't want to hurt you, and then I take this as an opportunity to
Mhm.
let them know nothing
Mm.
you can say will hurt me. Um, and
Yeah.
if it's true or not, that's not the point at that time.
Mhm.
I just want to manifest it. I'm sure
Right.
they could come up with something that will hurt me somewhere. Uh, but that's not the point. The point is just to manifest something that
Mhm.
is not really there yet, but I
Yeah.
want to make it true, so that I just send it out into the
Right.
universe to let it become true.
That is
And
beautiful.
I
Yes.
the more I spread it, the more uh, I send it out to people around me. It
Mm.
will inspire them, maybe,
Yes.
and inspire others. It's this frequency that we send out.
I love it, Christopher. It's like a positive feedback loop you're creating.
Yeah,
Because you assert that you have worth when you say that. You assert that you know your value. So whatever people think, it won't affect you. And that invites respect of who you are.
exactly.
I'm sure they pause and I'm like, wow, that's interesting and inspiring. And
Mm.
I love that. I love that. Yes. Very, very true and very inspiring.
And it's another way of drawing a boundary in the sand
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
letting
Yes. And
people.
exercising. Yeah.
Mm.
It's like a training. We're training a new muscle. So as you say it, it's a
Yes.
repetition that will help you always connect with that truth.
Hmm.
And it will be easier and easier each time.
Right. All right.
Yes.
Shall we wrap it up?
Yes.
All right. So then I would, we would love to know how. 1 second, I'm getting, uh, not me. You may, yes. um, oops. See. Yes, I would love to. We would love to get to know uh, how our audience,
Yes.
what our audience takes away from this episode,
Right.
whichever number it was now, about humiliation, hurt, and our how our ego is a part of this, and how you personally have found a way out of it, that other people can't hurt you any longer, or how you plan to train that for
Yes.
you, for yourself, or getting help of others, helping others doing this. Just leave us a comment.
Thank you,
That,
Christopher. I'd like to share a final comment for
yes, please.
our audience. I was reflecting on that this morning, and I realized that there are countless ways that people can hurt others or humiliate others, right? Just like there are countless ways to lie, because if you lie, you need many lies to try to override the truth because there's one truth. So therefore, if there are many ways to humiliate, humiliation is not the truth.
Yes,
So remember that if you have been victim of humiliation, this is not the truth. This is not your truth. You do not have to live replaying this narrative.
this is not your truth. Right. This can be a mantra.
Yeah, another
This is
one.
not my truth.
Nothing can
Wonderful.
hurt me, like you said. And this is not my truth. I know my truth.
Right. Wonderful. I love it. Thank you so much for this, Caroline. And thanks everyone out there listening and watching.
Thank you for
Uh,
joining us. Thanks,
yeah,
Christopher.
thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.